everyone, and welcome back. This is the first video of 2024. I'm so excited. I'm glad to be back into creating some content for you guys on all platforms. I took a little break after doing Bingemas and a combination of Blogmas on my website as well. So just taking a break from doing all that, and now I'm back to start making content again. So in this video, I will be discussing every TV show I watched in 2023. I'm going to be just going over some stats, looking at a couple things. I did something similar last year of everything I watched in 2022. So you can go and catch that video if you're interested to see everything I watched last year and the stats to that. So I'll be going through everything I watched this year and kind of comparing a little bit of last year and this year and seeing kind of if I met certain goals I was looking to meet for 2023. But yeah, let's dive into this and take a look at everything I watched last year. I watched a total of 31 TV shows this year. And for me, I count that as a win because my goal every year is to watch 30 shows. And last year I didn't reach that goal. I only watched 29. But this year I went a little bit over to 31 TV shows. And I'm very happy I met that goal. So with all those TV shows, it came to a total of 707 episodes. And last year I did 548. So I was very, very surprised how many episodes I watched this year because I only watched 2 more shows and that's over 100 more episodes that I watched. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But here is how many shows I watched each month. So for January, I watched 2. February, I also watched 2 shows. March was 6 shows. April was 5 shows. May was 6 shows. June was 3 shows. July was 1. August was 1. September was 1. October was 4. And then in November and December, I did not watch any TV shows. I didn't finish any. So just give a disclaimer on this video when I say everything I watched this year and everything I watched in 2023, and when I break down each month, those are the TV shows I finished within that month. So I only track TV shows once I finish them. I don't track them once I start them. So if I watch a lot of shows in one month, I actually finish those shows in one month. In that particular month, I could have started them in a previous month or a previous year, but I track the shows once I finish them. So that means my best month were March and May with 6 shows, and my worst months were November and December with 0 shows. Okay, let's kind of take more of a look at the TV shows I watched this year and seeing and comparing them and actually what was I watching. Right now I'm going to show you the number of seasons each show had that I watched. Okay, so there were 18 shows I watched that had 1 season. There were 2 shows I watched that had 2 seasons. There were 4 shows I watched that had 3 seasons. There were 3 shows I watched that had 4 seasons. There were 2 shows I watched that had 5 seasons. And then there was 1 show I watched that had 6 seasons. So yeah, there's 1 show and that was the most seasons I watched. Most of the shows I watched had 1 season, which makes sense. I love a limited series or a 1 season show. 1 season was my biggest this year and last year, so that kind of tracks and makes sense for me. The show that had the most episodes was Sister Sister with 119 episodes. And the show I watched with the least episodes was actually 2 shows. One was Murdaugh Murders and another one was Low Country Murdaugh Dynasty. And both of those had 3 episodes. Okay, next we're going to look at the genres that I've watched this year. So last year, romance was my biggest drama that I watched. This year, it was actually drama. And this year, I think what may have affected that is because I've kind of categorized the shows a bit differently, or I made them more general, I should say. I made them more general just so I could figure out which goes in which. There are shows that are rom-coms, romantic comedies. There are shows that are comedies and drama. There are shows that are drama and romance. And, a lot of shows can fit in a lot of different ones. So this is what I believe each show is the majority of, or what I consider each show. So sometimes if it's a romance / comedy, I might just put it in romance. If it's a comedy / drama, I might put it in drama. Or if a comedy / mystery, I might put it in comedy, things like that. So whatever I thought the show was more of, that's where that would go. So yeah, as I mentioned before, my biggest genre was drama with 29.6%. And I was a little shocked a bit because I expected myself to do romance, but I feel like a lot of drama does have romance. So to me, romance is still my biggest, but it was my second with 25.9%. Very close. Those are the two biggest ones. I watch a lot of drama and I watch a lot of romance TV shows. So my next one is comedy, is 18.5%, which I was kind of surprised. I didn't realize how much comedy I actually do watch. My next were thriller and true crime with 11.1%. And then my least one was action with 3.7%. And that makes a lot of sense. I don't usually gravitate towards action. I do enjoy a good action TV show. I'm usually gravitating or going to a romance to watch. So hopefully that's something I can change, watch a little bit more action next year. Okay, let's take a look at the streaming services I watched for this year. My biggest streaming service, to no surprise, was Netflix with 61.3%. I am shocked at how big the percentage is. It is my biggest one. It's the streaming service I just go to all the time. They have a lot of content that I enjoy, so I knew Netflix would be my biggest one. My next biggest, which is also no surprise, is Hulu for 19.4%. Hulu and Netflix are my top two streaming services that I go to. My next one was Paramount Plus with 12.9%. Paramount Plus was the new streaming service I was trying out for the year. I try a different one out every year, and so this year's Paramount Plus, and I did 12.9%, which I'm surprised how big it was. To me, that shows I'm actually trying to give that streaming service a chance from that to actually try it out and see how I feel about it. My next two were the same, which were HBO Max and Freevee with 3.2%. So that doesn't surprise me. I think I might have watched like one show from each of them. So last year for Netflix and Hulu, for Netflix I watched 69%, and for Hulu it was 13.8%. So my goal was to watch more Hulu this year, and I did reach that goal with watching 19.4% of Hulu. So we did go up about 6% in Hulu shows, so I'm glad I'm gravitating towards that more. I would like for next year to see even less Netflix shows and even more Hulu shows. I want it to be a little bit more balanced. I'm thinking if I can get Netflix to about 50%, that would be my goal for next year. So it'll be only 50% of the shows I'm watching come from Netflix, and then the rest from other streaming services. So we'll see if I can get it down, but I did get it lower from last year to this year, which I'm very happy about. Okay, next we're going to look at the ratings and how I'm rating my shows that I'm watching for the year. Okay, so it looks like my biggest rating was 4 stars, which was 33.3%, which, wow, I'm shocked how big that is compared to the rest of them. It looks like I had a really good watching year, so I'm very, very proud of that. But let's go through all of them. So for 5 stars, it was 14.8%, 4.75. I usually just do whole or half, but if I guess if I did it 0.75, it probably was just one show. 4.75 was 3.7%, and then 3.5 star, I did 14.8% of the shows were rated that. For 3 stars, 18.5% of the shows rated that. 2.75, we have 7.4% of TV shows I watched were rated that. 2.5 is 3.7%, and also is 2 stars is 3.7%. Over half of the shows were 4 or more stars, which I am very happy about. And that's my goal, to watch TV shows that I enjoy. Am I going to like everything? No. So there are going to be those low ratings. But for the majority of this year, I had a great time. So my average rating for the year was 3.7%. Last year, my average rating was 3.6, 0.1% better than last year. I am surprised how close they were. That just says I'm consistent, and for the past 2 years I watched a lot of good TV shows that I enjoyed. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at the TV shows on my watch list and how many of those I actually watched this year. So if you don't know, for my watch list, I try to pick 3 TV shows to watch for the month of February to November. For those months, almost every month, I pick 3 TV shows to watch for those months. So let's see, out of my watch list, how many of the TV shows that were on watch list that I picked every month did I actually get to this year. So I watched about 35% of TV shows I'm putting on my watch list, and that is less than what I did last year, which was 48%. And my goal was to watch more TV shows that are on my watch list, and it looks like I didn't hit that. I went down by more than 10%, which I am not happy about. My goal for next year is to try to hit that 50% mark. So 50% of the TV shows that I'm watching are actually TV shows I'm putting on my watch list. Okay, next I'm going to talk about the shows I rewatched this year. Every year there's going to be at least one TV show I'm probably going to rewatch. I just go back to it because I enjoyed it so much and I just want to see it again because it was just that great to me. I do not include rewatches in my rating system, so those are excluded. But this year I rewatched 4 TV shows: Queen Charlotte, Bridgerton, Crash Landing on You, and Sister Sister. So yeah, those are the 4 TV shows I watched this year and had a great time rewatching all of them. Queen Charlotte actually came out this year. The first time I watched it, it was included in my rating system, but I ended up watching it again. So I did rewatch Queen Charlotte because I enjoyed it so much. Last year, I only ended up rewatching 2 TV shows. I feel like last year is the norm. I usually don't rewatch a whole lot of TV shows within 1 year. I'm surprised I got to 4. We'll see how many I end up watching this year. Okay, now we're going to look at the TV shows I watched, and we're going to see what year they premiered. Okay, so let's take a look. So I kind of grouped each of these similar to how I grouped them last year. Anything before 2000, then from 2000 to 2010, then we did 2011 to 2019, and then after 2019, I started watching more for each individual year, so I separated those to be their own. So we have 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. I watched 2 TV shows that premiered before 2000. I watched 3 TV shows that premiered from 2000 to 2010. I watched 4 TV shows that premiered from 2011 to 2019. I watched 5 TV shows that premiered in 2020. I watched 4 that premiered in 2021. I watched 3 that premiered in 2022. And I watched 11 TV shows that premiered in 2023. This is very interesting. I watched a lot more new TV shows this year, which was a lot different than last year. I think I only watched a couple that premiered in the year I was watching them, and this is significantly more. So I know that was one of my goals this year, to watch more newer shows that premiered in the year I was watching them. I definitely reached that goal. I believe I had more TV shows last year that were from 2011 to 2019 that premiered, but the biggest difference from this year to last year is I'm watching a lot more new TV shows that are coming out, and I'm very surprised I watched a lot of shows that premiered in 2023. But that's kind of cool. I'm watching a lot of new content. I think I did pretty good this year, watching a couple from each section. That's definitely what I want to do. I think I only watched 1 show before 2000, so I'm glad I watched more than that. So I can keep it relatively the same, maybe balance out the rest. And I don't think I need to watch 11 TV shows that come out 2023, but I definitely want to keep up with what's new and current and seeing what's out there. So I'm not too mad about how this turned out for this year. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the TV shows I watched in different languages. I always find myself watching a TV show that in a different language, and I'm like, why not? I feel like once you start watching TV shows in different languages, you are recommended so much more content and different content from other countries, which is great. And I love seeing how different styles that countries do. Like, they have a certain style, how they shoot things and how certain things are acted out or dramatized. I kind of like seeing the different ways. But let's take a look at how many TV shows I watched that were in different languages. So this year, I watched 9 TV shows that were a different language from English. So I watched 5 shows that were in Korean, 2 shows that were in Spanish, and 2 shows that were in Japanese. This is less than last year, which was 13 TV shows I watched in a different language. I think for this year I want to hit 10. So if I can hit 10, I think that's a good enough number. I still think 9 is a great number. I'm just hoping to stay relatively around that area of 9 and 13 for this coming year as well. I just think a goal for this upcoming year is to watch shows in a couple more different languages. I always do Korean and Spanish. I always have TV shows for that, which is great. So I'm hoping I can, have more TV shows with different languages, not just Korean, Spanish, and Japanese, but kind of diversify and have a couple more languages on here for next year. Okay, so that's everything I watched for this year. What I'm going to add to this, a little different than what I did last year, I'm going to add on my goals for this year. Just putting that all in one video. Not a lot of goals, but just a couple goals for 2024. One of my biggest ones is to watch more Black TV shows. I think I just didn't watch a whole lot of TV shows that were, either main character or the main cast was a Black cast. When I looked at least how diverse my TV watching is, I watched about 19 shows with a diverse cast, which I'm very, very proud of. I watched 31 shows, so that's over half of the shows I was watching had a diverse cast, which is great. But for Black TV shows, I only watched 5. So I definitely want to bring that number up. So I'm going to try to incorporate some things to try to make sure I pick more Black TV shows throughout the year. That's one thing I really want to try and focus on for the year 2024. It's highlighting Black creators and Black content, people in front and behind the screen of TV shows coming out. So I'm hoping I can do that for this year. Another one of my goals, which I mentioned previously, was watch more TV shows in different languages. I'm already assuming I'm going to do Korean and Spanish. I feel like I always do those every year, and I'm recommended those a lot, but I want to diversify that. I want to watch more than 3 languages this year, not including English. So hopefully I can diversify and watch more TV shows in different languages. Another one of my goals, which is a goal for every year, watch 30 TV shows for the year. Hopefully I can reach that like I did this past year. Watch 30 shows, and I'm also hoping, as I mentioned in my video, only making 50% of my content from Netflix, and I'm hoping to watch more Hulu shows for this upcoming year. It doesn't have to be by a whole lot, but I just want it to be more than 2023. So hopefully I can watch more Hulu TV shows. And one goal that I've been having for a while, but I've just never said it, is I really, really want to hit 1,000 subscribers for this year. I don't really put out a whole lot of goals for my specific channel, just mostly content I'm putting up, but I don't know if it's really gonna happen, but we'll see. I'm just putting it out there. I really want to try and reach 1,000 subscribers for the year of 2024. I don't know if it happened, but I'm just saying it, and we'll see where I am by the end of the year. To help me reach that goal, I'm gonna ask you guys if you can please subscribe to the channel so I can try and reach that goal by the end of the year. But yeah, those are my goals for 2024. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of recap video of 2023 of everything I watched and breaking down of what I'm watching, what I'm gravitating to in different ways. Again, I'm so excited to get started on this new year of watching TV and see what I'm going to watch for the year of 2024. I'm excited to see what I gravitate to, what content will be coming out. There's already been so many TV shows that will be premiering this year that I'm super excited to see. So I'm excited for those and seeing what else will come out for the rest of the year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you didn't know, or this is your first video from me, I don't have a set schedule. So feel free to turn on post notifications so you're notified anytime a video is uploaded. You can also follow me on all my socials, which I will link down below. It is ATS_MGO on all platforms. Well, I hope you guys have a good day, week, month, and a good rest of your year. And until next time, bye.